Jimmy's Jam Box. Keep jamming.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hey, what's up? My name's Marc. I'm from Overthinking, and happy to be here.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, where you're from, what you do, give us that, Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm part of a band called Overthinking. We play music and that sort of stuff. My band's really weird because we're like a genre-less band, and that's what we like to market ourselves as because, I think there's just too much involvement in what part of the scene you're supposed to be a part of and what you're supposed to be doing, and so we decided, to hell with that. I'm just going to play what I want to play when I want to play it,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we market ourselves as, and our shows get real weird because of it, so
I dig that.
it's nice.
Does the genre-less part come from, the fact that, you'll have so many backgrounds, or is it just, one of you wakes up one morning and goes, I think a Latin beat would be good?
Well, yeah, it's it's kind of a thing where all of the different members who have been in it at this point have had extensive music backgrounds and that sort of thing, playing from 10 to 12 years before this band. And so it's a thing where it's we try and do stuff that we like because we like it. And because we've all been playing so long, it's you're not going to jump into country and only be a country fan until the day you die. If you're a music fan, you're going to like country, you're going to like salsa, you're going to really weird stuff because you want to explore what comes from around the world.
Yeah. I mean, at least one would hope.
I hope
one would hope you don't stick to country and blues.
There are a lot of people who actually do that. So I guess I'm wrong on that point, but it's a thing where it's why limit yourself to just seeing one thing when there's so much cool shit out there,
No, totally.
So,
and when did you get into music initially? What was the start for you?
I've always been into music, I like to make the joke that even before I was born, my mom was showing me music, so it's
just headphones on the stomach.
Yeah. She apparently went to shows when she was pregnant with me.
Oh.
So literally that sort of thing. But when I first started getting into music was with when I was 9 and started playing my first instrument in school. I started on stand-up bass, played that for 8 years, said, it's time to switch and do some other stuff. So then I did all the strings, started messing with all of them. Didn't master all of them, but I at least know what I'm doing, on a banjo, a mando.
Oh, damn.
Guitar, bass, stand-up, that sort of thing. So I started, trying to level out everything that I liked, and because I did that, I found like-minded people and were able to make multiple bands. I think I'm on band 12 at this point, so,
oh, damn. You bounced around.
It's been a struggle to make something, but, if you love something, you keep doing it.
And how long have you been playing your as your primary role?
So right now, in the band that I'm in, I'm really singer and guitarist. I like to call myself frontman because, that's what I do at shows. That's what I'm really good at. And, even if I suck at everything I do.
If you're entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining, People love when you shout at them. So I'm good at that,
I don't think I've ever told this story on the show, so this is exciting.
Nice.
I was listening to In Flames specifically, if you want to know. But I was listening to In Flames, and I wanted to show my buddy. And this is back in the day when germs didn't exist, so I just take my earbuds out, I hand them to him, and he puts it in. He goes to put them on, and he's like, oh, "Why are they yelling at me?" And to this day, that just lives in my head rent free. Never have I gotten that response from showing somebody heavy music, and I was like, yes.
That's exactly the type of response I want too. If I'm going to show somebody something like that, yeah. That's always great.
Why is he yelling at me?
It's almost, when I show people my music and they get scared by it, I almost prefer that over them actually liking it sometimes, because it's I did something that means something then,
Yeah.
course, that's not really like the vibe of Overthinking, but you know, I've done that in past bands where it was like very music, so it was like it became that sort of thing where it's like, oh, funny.
Yeah. Do majority of the members in your band have like a heavy background?
So I had like a huge punk ska, like, you know, Fat Records, all of that sort of thing, like very that sort of background. My drummer had a very heavy background. She liked like metalcore stuff and that sort of thing. She was in marching band for a long time, so she did a lot of drums and that sort of thing. Shout out to Eileen. What's up?
Oh yeah.
And you know, she was just like, I don't know, she's just amazing. She like has all like the metal stuff. She really went through that ringer before Overthinking. And our current bassist, Laz, he just kind of does his thing, you know? Like he does a lot of projects, and I would say it's like heavier stuff for the most part of it. So I guess, I don't know, back long way of going to your question, I guess so, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had to think about it, but yeah. Yeah.
I have no real basis for asking that. That was just kind of one that popped in my head. Thought I would go for it.
Yeah. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, going to all those heavier shows. I always prefer heavier shows over like pop shows or stuff like that, because I like it when a crowd really, you know, moves back and forth, even if, you know, like off camera when we were talking, like hardcore LARPing is hilarious, but I love it.
That was hilarious. That was so funny. I love that.
Yeah. No offense to hardcore people. If you're in a hardcore band,
or people
like
who
hardcore,
LARP,
or people who LARP, yeah, just combine them together. You know, it's a love that's made in heaven.
Yeah, I'd like to imagine that that's like the music they hear in their head half the time.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right, we've got a couple more questions in like the foundation portion of this interview, and these are all fun ones. So let's dive back into it. This next one, definitely a crowd favorite. We ask it early. We ask it often. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Oh, Jesus. I think with my own money that I bought, I think it was Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell by Social Distortion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good first album.
Yeah. You know, I listened to Social Distortion forever as a kid with my mom. It's her favorite band. And so I was like, you know, that's what inspired me to do music, because Mike Ness is like my hero. So then I was like, I saw it at Zia, which is like a local record store in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And I went to Zia and I bought the record, and I was like, this is one of my favorite records ever. I'm always going to have this. It's awesome.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, I do. It's scratched to hell, but I mean, yeah.
That just means it was used. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know. And my little 6-track CD player. It was great. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then what was the first live show you ever went to? That was like one that you wanted to go to.
One that I wanted to go? Also Social Distortion.
Oh,
yeah, it was double for double, man.
Hell yeah.
I think I was 8 and I begged my mom to go, and she got it for me for Christmas / my birthday, because it was around the same time. And we went. I was like, this changes my mind on things forever. Wow, it's awesome.
This
I
is
love
the new
it.
me.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I have a personality now, and I'm not just a child.
My shoes have checkers on them.
Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, so, you know, Social Distortion. And then, like, the first concert I went to, like, by myself, because I bought tickets for it, was, like, I think when I was, like, 16, I went to Days and Days, which was a really good show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who'd they play with?
It was a really small show in a place called the Nile Underground. It was really good. Days and Days. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was an awesome show. Yeah. Very personal.
You know, I've always enjoyed like little venues, like the intimacy of it, especially when it's somebody who has the knowledge of larger spaces.
Yeah.
So like they understand what a performance like needs to be on its grandest scale, and you get to watch them kind of workshop how to do it in a smaller space.
Yeah.
It makes it can make for a really cool experience.
Well, it especially gets crazy when they're like a huge artist. They'll play like a place like that sells out like 2,000 people. I guess that's not a huge artist. That's a big artist for my scene. But like,
I mean,
a place of like,
I was talking like 250 max.
Yeah,
like
I think,
like real intimate venue.
I think the craziest show I ever saw that was like AJJ, who's like really big now. If you know AJJ, I'm sure you like him. I saw them recently, and they sold out a show that was like 700 people at the Crescent Ballroom, which was a good show. But I also saw them at a place called Trunk Space, where it was like, I think the max cap on that is 75. And it got packed out, and it was just the singer and bassist playing on that small stage.
Yep.
It was a crazy show, though. I think like they tried to fit like 100 and something in there.
Damn.
So it was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's its own kind of experience for sure.
Yeah.
But now why don't we go ahead and let's dive into you as the artist. Let's get to know you a little bit. And we're gonna take the easy one. We're gonna go in real easy on this. What was there? Shit, sorry, I looked at the wrong words. How did y'all pick your name?
Overthinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I came up with the name because I overthink everything. And, it was ironic because we were like, what should we make our band name? And we started arguing about it. And I'm like, we're overthinking this. Overthinking.
I will say, as this interview has progressed, like there was an almost like double think like naturalness to how you used it. Like it came out so comfortably in the conversation, but using it as the name to where I had to like adjust my way of receiving words to be like, oh no, he's not just using that word.
Yeah.
Like he's using it as a name.
Yeah. It's always funny too, because we always catch people like saying, dude, you're overthinking this. And I'm like,
That's like
that sort of thing.
That's like the police.
Yeah.
They were like, it's free marketing.
Yeah, for real, man. That's how it is.
There are police everywhere. Yeah, like, I mean, it's a good name. I found out this is a bit. I comment on people's names now. It's become
go
a thing.
for it, man. Be brutal with it.
Oh, I mean, I don't have time to be brutal to anybody about it, but no, but I mean, it's cool because, like I said, it fits so naturally in the conversation. It's gonna like once somebody knows the band and they hear the word because the word comes up enough, it's like instant refresh button.
Yeah,
so that's helpful. It's one word technically.
Yeah.
So it's it's easy to remember. It's easy to put on paper. It looks good. It's got a lot of good shapes and vowels and things like that. So
yeah.
One day I'm going to come up with a rating system, but imagine it's there on the screen and it gets one of these.
Yeah, nice.
Now I have to wait until I find somebody whose name isn't good. What am I going to do?
I don't know. You got to be brutal with them. It depends on how they take it too.
Maybe I got to go like what's the chef guy?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay,
be like,
thank you.
Your name's fucking shit. Yeah. Just like that would be so brutal though.
Just
Imagine
take two pieces of bread.
Yeah, like you show up to like an interview with somebody, you've never met the guy before, and he just looks at you and says, anyways, that's really nice. Your band name is absolute fucking garbage. Like, dude, you suck.
It won't be me, but I can't say I wouldn't watch that.
Dude, I would love to see that. Like, dude, and depending on who it was, if they were like a cool artist, they would probably
like if they were in on it. Like if Zach
hard,
Galifianakis was the one who was doing it, or Zach Galifianakis. How do you say Galifianakis?
Something like that. Yeah, Two Ferns guy.
Somebody put how you say their last name in the comments.
Do that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. All right, but let's keep going on it. Take us through the writing process, and either yours or the band's, like whichever you feel more comfortable speaking on. But like, how do you go about putting a song together?
That's a good question. I think it really depends on the song because, with some songs, like a song I wrote called Lightning, with Overthinking, it took me a long time to write it. Took a lot of thought because I was trying to write it for somebody, No,
you're overthinking.
And I was overthinking. So like it became a thing where it was like, it took me like 2 years to write this singular song, and it was like, I'm glad that I did it because it came out the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
And then, you have that classic band trope where we were just jamming and then just made something off the fly, A lot of our songs are like that. So I would say it's a balance between, lots of thought and no thought at all. I would say it generally starts with instrumentals first and then like lyrics and stuff. I know a lot of people do it the other way, and I can see the prospects of doing it either way, but
I feel like I don't know a lot of people who start lyrics first. That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like there are. No?
I imagine you maining as a front person, a person who exists in that role, you probably experience it a little bit more than I would.
Yeah.
From like an outside in perspective. I worked with a lot of like guitarists and drummers because I'm a bass player.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm trying to think about like, it's really like if you are a singer and trying to front it first, you're going to start with lyrics first. And the only thing that sucks about that is like if you do it that route, it's never going to come out right, especially if you work with other people. So it's like it's usually instrumentals first, but if I have like an idea of a song, like, okay, I want this song to be about this, then I'll usually start with lyrics, and then I'll try and find like the vibe and tone of what that is. So I'll make an instrumental and then revise the lyrics to refit that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, it's that sort of thing. So it's like, it's kind of a balance of like, what am I doing today? How am I feeling? Because, you know, music is also therapy. So if I jam something out and I like it, then I'm going to keep using it. But it's like, oh, well, that was a traumatic episode every time I play it, you know? So, yeah, that sort of thing.
A recent interview that I did, I'm blanking on the name. They said that they recently changed their process and had the drummer go first. So the drummer drummed like how they imagined the format of the songs. They were like, all right, so this is kind of the verse, this is kind of the chorus. Yeah. And like they just did the whole, like, you know, watered down to a degree, but they just laid down the whole, oh my God. Excuse me.
Bless you.
They just laid down the whole thing and then went in and showed the band, like, this is the general movement. And then the band was like, if you did the drums a little differently in the spot, I actually have a thing I could do here. And like and so they actually like, they were given this kind of this roadmap. This is this like, do something within this space. And it's an approach I've never considered.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
It does.
Like, make the bass, because, you know, the drums are always going to be like the base of the foundation.
Yeah.
So if you have the foundation already there, you can already build it.
And you know that the drummer's already going to kind of be in the pocket for those moments.
Yeah.
So you're now writing around the spot for them to do something in that spot.
Yeah.
Like, so they gave you a space within to operate, and then you go and put that stuff in, and then they get to go and embellish it afterwards. So it was, like I said, it's a unique approach. I hadn't really ever considered that as like a functional option.
Yeah.
So, you know, something to take with you.
Dude, that makes so much sense.
I know. Yeah, give it a go and come back for another episode and let us know how it went.
Yeah, man. I'm totally down.
Oh, yeah.
Totally down.
Well, actually, we'll bring the band back for that one.
Yeah,
and y'all could be like, that's the only way we write music now.
Yeah, I gotta bring Eileen. What's up, Eileen?
Oh,
I gotta bring her because she would have a lot of fun with this. Yeah,
definitely. So. And now, getting back into it, if you had to show somebody one song, you can only pick one song that's currently available to like show to somebody
that like I wrote on and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, because like my answer is a real sellout one, but like it's like my newest song. Like it is my newest song. I would like to show that one to a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's out and you think it's the best one you put out so far.
It is, yeah. So, because we're relatively new artists, I think we only have like 3 singles out right now with this stuff. We're coming out with an album soon, but like these 3 singles are like teases to what the album's going to be. And the latest one we released has like hands down the best production we've done, hands down like my favorite lyrics, and it makes me really happy to show it to people because it's really good. By the way, the song's called Questions and Answers. But
I was gonna say, is it just a 10-hour remix of Bop?
Oh no, it's not. But you know, it's my song, you know, and it feels very me, which I can't say for a lot of my music prior to this. You know,
Fair.
I've always written for people or written about something, but I've never written. Because it's like a love song, like something about how I feel specifically, where I like feel it fully, you know.
Interesting.
So it's kind of nice. Not that I didn't feel the other things, but this one feels like the most real and authentic person I am. And I would say close second to that is a song called Lightning. But yeah, it's really up there, and I'm really enjoying doing it. You know.
Hell yeah.
So
yeah. Well, everybody go check it out and put what you think in the comments.
Yeah, let me know.
And then tell us about. Oh my gosh, it's just one of those days, I guess.
I feel you. I keep sipping too, so you're good, man.
Sorry, when you do 1,000 interviews in 2 days.
I feel that, man. I feel that.
Now, tell us about either your most favorite or the most wild show you've ever performed at. Or if you've got a story for both, you could tell both.
So, like, wild story I've played at and performed at? Or like...
yeah, either like a show that you played at that was like your most favorite, like 10 out of 10 best one. Or if you have too many favorites, because some people have a hard time with that one, the like craziest show you've ever played at. But if you have a story for both.
Okay. So, best show I think I've ever played when it comes to that is probably I played at a place called the Rebel Lounge. With if you're from Arizona, you know what the Rebel Lounge is. It was it was really good because one, the sound was really nice.
Perfect.
Two, the history of the venue made me feel like, wow, I'm actually doing something with this. Because it was like, I think the last place Kurt Cobain played in Arizona.
Oh, damn.
So it was like, you know, like I felt like, wow, this is something.
Yeah.
This is where bands have started that are actually doing something now. And I played that, and it was like really good show. The crowd was really into us, you know, that sort of thing. That was just a really good show. The wildest show that is also one of my favorites, we were playing this place called the Alibi House. It's since shut down because, you know, house shows.
Yeah.
House venues, rip to
They're
them.
never forever.
Never forever. But we were playing, and basically how it was set up was it was 2 stories, and on the like bottom level is where all the bands played.
Mhm.
So you had like, you know, all of us down there, and there was a little crowd. But you could walk upstairs, and on the upstairs part there was a guardrail, and you could look over while people were playing
Oh.
if you couldn't see. So we were playing that, and it was a packed show. Like I think 70 people in this house,
Oof,
at this
yeah.
house. And so it was playing, and we're playing like I think our country song, which is like our least big one. Somebody gets smashed into the wall, and like there's this giant hole. And beyond that, later in our set, we were playing a hardcore song, and somebody like I think I might be mixing up shows because I played multiple shows here, but like somebody jumped off the second rail into the pit and just like started like swinging. We're like, dude, what? We're just
Like
trying
just
to play,
superhero
man.
landed and got up and just
No,
like
he like full like jumped over and like landed on his back in the like the bottom part and just started swinging. And I was
Yikes.
like, dude. And obviously he was like, you know, but like it was like a thing where it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, why?
Like,
Why?
It was a
Why?
good show though. Like every show I played at the Alibi before it shut down was really good. It got shut down for some reasons. Like I'm glad it got shut down, but I do miss playing shows there, you know. So
That's fair. House shows have a very different feel to them.
yeah, they're good, but you're always scared something's going to terribly happen because
Yeah.
it generally does.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, houses aren't exactly designed
yeah, for sure.
for that kind of capacity,
Yeah.
let alone that level of vigor.
Yeah.
There's, you know, they're
Yeah.
they still hit
I feel
different
that.
though.
They do hit different. Those are going to be always the shows you remember, you know?
Hell yeah.
Like they're always the start of people's careers. So it's like, those are going to be the shows you look back on fondly. Not that you won't look at other stuff fondly, but it's always like, it's that nostalgia bait, you know? Like,
Yeah.
wow, I remember that.
Yeah, man, my body could handle all that at one point.
Yeah. I don't think it could even then, but
No,
now I
mean,
really can't, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel that. All right, now we've got one last question to go for like the artist focus portion of this. And
Yeah,
this is kind
go
of
for it.
this is a dense question.
Go for it.
What is it about music? And not in response to, so not because of doing music what happens. But what is it about the process of music? Like when you're in the thick of it, when you are making it, when you're like maybe not everything's going right, but you're in it. What is it about the process that just makes you want to keep doing it?
That's a good question. Cause like a lot of the time you get frustrated with a song or stuff like that. And it makes you want to give up, or, you know, you have a bad show and you're like, well, it's over. And to be honest with you, it's like those good moments outnumber the bad moments tenfold, at least when it comes to me. So it's always worth it. You know, I've never had a bad moment. Sorry about that. A bad moment like affect something where it's like, well, now I just want to throw it all to hell, you know? Music is my therapy. Music is my hobby. Music is hopefully someday my life passion and job.
Yeah.
You know? It's always been there for me, so why wouldn't I be there for it, you know? I want to put in as much as people have put in for me when it comes to music, so,
Oh yeah,
you know, keep going with it.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go ahead and we're going to move on to some hypothetical questions.
Hypothetical.
Yeah, these are all what ifs, so there are literally no wrong answers.
All right. Cool.
And the first one, if you could work with any one artist who's currently alive, and if it's a group, you have to pick a single member from that group.
Oh, no.
Who would you work with, and how would you work with them?
I don't know. Like, there are so many artists that you could choose with that.
It's not like if you choose one, you're locked out from the rest of them. So
That's true, but
Yeah.
like, this is a give me card. Like, oh, it's going to happen, you know? Like,
I
the
don't know
rest
if you
of
know this. Everybody who's ever been said watches the show.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a weird turn of events.
Man, crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the obvious answers would be like somebody like Les Claypool or somebody who's just like godlike at their instrument or singing or something like that. But I think like for me, I would just want to work with like, I don't know, somebody like Jesse from Days and Days probably would be really cool. Cause like, you know, I want somebody who's down to earth and wants to work with me. Cause it's like a thing where it's like, yeah, I can work with somebody who's really good, but if they turn out to be a douche.
Well, again, this is just in the realm of hypothetical.
Yeah.
No, not what happens after, but just like.
But I'm overthinking it, man. Like,
yeah, look at you. See? Hey, name dropping the band again.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably Jesse from Days and Days. Have him sing on a track with me because I really like his like gritty vocals because he's very like the best way I think somebody's described Days and Days is like if Rats made a band. Yeah.
Fair.
So like, you know, that sort of thing. I'm a real sucker for folk punk and stuff too. So like to be able to work with somebody who is one good in folk punk and crust punk, that would be like yeah. You know? So probably Jesse from Days and Days, yeah.
Oh yeah. And then who's like a local band that you haven't gotten to like do anything yet with, but you would like to like share a bill with?
Ooh, that is a good question. Immediate answer, Creepsville 666. Like they've always been there. I guess I got to explain it. So, Creepsville is like this really cool psychobilly band from AZ. If you like psychobilly at all, they're really good, and I've been seeing them since I was like 6. Really good friends with Gino. He like taught me how to play guitar for a little bit, and you know I've never been able to hop on a bill with them or have them hop on a bill with us. But it would be like a dream come true to play with them because their crowds are pretty cool too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, love to do that.
And then for this next one, literally sky's the limits.
All right.
Like literally.
Okay.
If you could perform anywhere in the world and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or power or building stability, guaranteed best lineup, guaranteed best show ever.
Okay.
Anywhere in the world. Nothing is off limits. Where would you pick?
I actually talked to my drummer about this the other day because it just came up. So I have an answer. I would love to play on a beach festival set.
Okay.
Like mid-billing, like maybe like 10,000 people, like a lot of people, like big festival. Like Huntington Beach, somewhere in Southern California where it's just a beautiful day. Beach in the background, ocean, you can hear it in between sets. Would love to play that, you know? Yeah. I want a mid set too. I don't even want the high set. I just want one of those sets where it's like people came there for me and I can tell they came here for me, but like I don't have to stay all the way till the end. I mean, I will, of course, to see other bands, but I don't
have to wait till the end to play.
Yeah. So it's like that's my dream thing because it's like I've been to multiple beach festivals and those have always been the best experience for me. And it always looks like bands are having the time of their lives there because it's like a day at the beach where you get to play music and hang out. Like I would love to do that.
Yeah, right.
You know? And it seems like not too unachievable of a goal, something that I would want to do. I wouldn't want to play like if I got offered it, of course I would do it, but it's not like an ultimate dream of mine to like play Rock AM Arena or like something like that, you know? I just want to play something like where a lot of people are seeing me and it's like nice weather outside and it's awesome. You know? That's what I want to do. Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a weird offshoot of the show, being able to like go out to anywhere and do it. Like I did like a live recording of somebody's performance like on a dock.
Yeah.
Like they were doing their music and like jet skis were going in the back.
Dude, that's awesome.
It was a lot of fun. And like all the other spaces, just like being able to go anywhere and like do it. But like having those settings where it is more like that, like there's something special to it for sure.
Yeah. I feel that.
Oh, yeah. And then to wrap it up, this one's kind of an interesting one. We got a little. We always save the twists for the end.
What the twist?
If you had to perform a completely different genre than any other genre you performed before, so anything you've done, even if it's like a cross genre thing, it's off the table. So you've now lost a lot of options given your present setting.
Oh, that is such a hard question.
I know,
for me,
and
man.
I can't even say you can't pick country because you've already got a country song. And we're gonna go in a limb and say you can't pick any electronic based music either.
No electronic?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Because you made it like hard because I've got a salsa song. I've got a country song. I've got multiple metal songs. I have a Midwest emo song. I have like all these sorts of things. So something I guess I haven't done yet would be the best answer to this. I don't know. Like a sea shanty would be hilarious to play live.
Oh, okay.
Or like Thinking about it.
You have any freeform jazz?
Yo, that is a good point. I totally should do like just something like on stage that isn't planned. Yeah. No, man, that is a good idea. Like playing jazz live, but like having no plan to it. Just have like a set time during a set where I could just do some freeform.
Bring out a little chess timer for the aesthetic.
Yo, yeah, you could totally flip it around and put it on the stage and be like, we've got this much time to pull something out of our ass. And then just hit it and then just start playing. And it's either god awful or something. All right.
Yep.
You know, or... And knowing me, it probably wouldn't be great on my part. My drummer would do awesome, but I'd be like, it's all right.
Hey, I mean that's for something though.
Yeah. I think that's a good one. Just like something improvised on stage would be awesome because I do that all the time in practice, but I've never done it live.
Yeah, well now you have a reason to.
Dude, that would be awesome.
I want to shout out the first time you do it. Not every time you do it, just the first one.
Just the first
Be
one.
like, this happened on this concept came up on Jimmy's Jambox. So if you hate it, you know where to go.
There you go, man. Yeah.
And no publicity is bad publicity, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, like murder allegations or, you know, like anything.
I mean, it worked for
like
OJ
that.
for a while.
Oh my God, you're right. I guess
He sold a book.
Yeah, he sure did.
That's, that's making the most of a situation, I guess. Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, if I wasn't getting canceled before. No.
Nah, man, you're fine.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. Why don't you tell us what the band has coming up, say like beginning of November onwards?
New album. It's going to come out soon. Guess I'll choose now to like announce its name then.
Oh shit.
The album is obviously by Overthinking and it's going to be called So Stupid It Just Might Work.
That's such a good name.
Thank you.
I like that a lot.
It's going to be like 8 songs with some extra little stuff in there for you guys. That'll be hilarious. But I'm really excited for that. We're probably going to do some release shows for it. And yeah, at some point a tour. We were trying to plan that and it kind of fell through. But just doing stuff, you know. If you're in the local Arizona area, hit me up. See what's up.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah. And then for this next one, go ahead and look straight at the camera and tell everybody how they can find you.
Sure. Instagram, I think it's Overthinking. If you see something with a giant eyeball on it that looks like it's drawn really good, do it. That's Instagram, Facebook, on Spotify. If you just type in Overthinking and then one of our songs, we're going to come up, you know? So just come check us out. Hope you guys dig what we got, you know?
Hell yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Ooh, that's a good question. Shout out the Grand Pricks. They're a really good band from Arizona. Yeah. Shout out Simple Malfunction. Shout out Fair Lady. They're kind of the same band, but they're cool.
Is it all the same members, just different instruments?
Yeah. They just swapped around for the most part. I think they have a different bassist, but that's it. Shout out Eileen, my drummer, my favorite person. She's been in like 6 of my 11 bands I've been in, so we've been in quite the stuff together. Shout out to my bassist Laz. He's freaking awesome, and he actually started with us as mixing the album, so he's freaking awesome, you know. Yeah, and just shout out to everybody who comes out to our show or listens to our stuff, you know, like it's really cool that you guys want to see stuff that we do. I would say like we wouldn't do it if it wasn't for you guys. We totally would, but like it's nice to see you there.
Yeah, y'all make it better.
Yeah, you make it better, and like, you know, it's awesome to see people liking what we do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, now we got one last question to go.
Go for it, man.
But before we do, I'm going to still the camera for just a second. As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, the final question. What is your guilty pleasure song?
That's a good question, man. I mean, we talked about it earlier. I don't know if it's guilty pleasure. Drift Away by Uncle Kracker's really good. Do you think that one
I
counts?
mean, that counts. Also, shout out Drift Away, who brought that up, and that didn't come up. Like, we didn't ever talk about that in their interview, but their interview brought up you mentioning that. That would have been such a good one.
Drift Away, Uncle Cracker. I don't know. Because I'm so shameless about the music that I like. Like, I don't care.
I guess more, I have
Like,
to figure out a way to rebrand this question, but like, what's a song that you love
that I shouldn't.
that like other people are just like, nah, this ain't it. And you're like, that's fine. It's still playing.
Yeah. I know I am a 100 Gex proprietor. I do
hell
like
yeah.
100 Gex.
Oh, the new album.
It's all right.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
So good.
I haven't listened to it as much as I should, but my
well,
girlfriend's
you
really
should.
into it. I know a lot of people don't like 100 Gex, but people who do like 100 Gex are like die hard like that.
Yeah.
I'm one of those weird people where it's like, oh, they're good. I like them,
I don't listen to 100 Gex all the time, but like the album was a glow up. Like they put a lot of work into it, and it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. It really had a presentation to it. I know it was an odd narrative for somebody to give 100 Gex, but I'm still standing by it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Guess Stupid Horse by them. Like I played that on repeat for like 6 days the first time I heard it. And so I think I tried to convince somebody that this is the fourth wave of ska. You'll see.
Oh no.
I was joking about it mostly, but
good on you.
It was like it was a thing, I don't actually believe that, but it was just funny, I don't know. Has anybody asked you what is yours?
Mine cycled through when I have like a new one to put on, because I usually default to like, what do I usually default to? Man, I can't even think of my default because I've always got something. Like the other day I was listening to Brett Domino Trio's album Funk from like 2017, and I still, or like 2016, 17, somewhere there, and I still stand by it being one of the most slappingest albums.
Yeah,
like the low end on it is aggressive. The bass is so fat. And nobody even knows it exists. But it's like they're like satirical funk.
Satirical funk.
Yeah, they're like Flight of the Conchords.
If you like satirical, like really funny,
they're like Tom Cardy. Yeah,
got you. Have you heard of? I don't know if they're a new band. They're new to me, so they might be new. I forget what they're called. They're like a newer funk band. Have you heard of Thumpasaurus?
I have.
What do you think about them?
I mean, I like funk, so I get down with it.
I feel you. Yeah, I've been really getting into them lately. Like, I don't know, man.
I forget the name of the group, but there was this group who did a song called like, I think it's like Disco Jesus or something like that.
I've
or like
heard
Cool
of
Guy Jesus. It's like they're like this like very like electronic funky group, but the whole album slaps, and then that song comes on, and while it's like slightly lower in production, it's just so goofy. Because they like basically tell the story of Jesus, but if he had only like shown up for like the good of funk.
Wait.
Yeah. Hold on. You know what? I'll pull out my phone for this one. I'm gonna look this up right now. I guarantee you it won't be hard to find.
You just gotta look up probably Disco Jesus or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Jesus. It's Moses.
Oh, Disco
Moses by the Boogie Trio. Trio spelled T.RIO.
What?
Disco Moses.
No way, man.
Yeah, and it's you know what? That'll be my guilty pleasure song.
That's your guilty pleasure song?
Yeah, that track. I don't give a shit. That track is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have this song I write called Poser, and what the song is essentially about is this is for the punk scene, but I think it kind of spreads across like any like major music scene. I hate this like whole mindset where like people will basically accost you for liking a certain type of band or something because they're seen as like mainstream or something. If you like something, like it, own it, make it yours. You don't have to feel bad for liking something. That isn't to say if you don't like an artist, don't like that artist, but don't bash somebody for liking them, you know?
There's actually... This is the weirdest spot to put this as like a talking topic in an interview, so I'm not going to like rant on this for too long. Yeah. But it's not so like we as a society have posted as like we look at the people responding to that as the like that is it. What we don't realize is that's the default response action.
Yeah.
So like when you haven't heard of somebody, when you say, "Oh, I haven't heard of that artist," what do you usually get?
Oh yeah,
Like, oh my God, you've never heard of that. Like, what? How do you not know this artist?
Yeah.
There's only millions of them, of course, but that is a response action to just like, oh, you like that? Why? Why would you?
Yeah.
Like, how could you like that? That's like it's such a and it's rooted itself so deep in the narrative of music.
It's weird because like people who love music and are like music lovers like us, it's like a thing where it's like a lot of people are very defensive about what they like, and like if you don't like it the exact same way I do, then it like offends me. And I'll be honest, like I used to be like that, especially like in my early teenage days, but then I started to realize like, why do I have that response? Why do I have that action?
Exactly.
Why am I not being excited to show somebody something that I like, or just having a conversation to respectfully disagree on an artist that I don't like or they do like, or whatever. I just think it's weird, like why is there set rules, especially in some genres, won't name any specifically, but there are a lot of them where it's like you have to like something in a certain way or you're a poser or something like that. So,
well, I think why, like, there's too much music to make it like to even dive into the question past why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody is allowed to like anything if it's not harming anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how dare you find something that enters your ears pleasing and someone else doesn't? You know what I mean? Like it's such a poor choice of kinetic energy to use.
Yeah.
Like I personally get stoked when I get to show somebody that somebody hasn't heard.
Yeah.
Like my response is not, oh my God, how have you not heard of them? It's, oh my God, let me show you them. It's an opportunity to create a shared moment. And then, that may become one of their favorite bands ever. And then you now have somebody to go to a show with for that.
I have that with one of my best friends. Shout out Mira. I showed her one of my favorite artists ever called Amigo the Devil. You like Amigo the Devil? Mm-hmm. I showed her Amigo because she was like, I maybe have heard one song, and we like listened to an album together. And now she bought me tickets so we could go see it together because like it turns out to be one of her favorite one of her favorite like artists, and it's like, why wouldn't you want to share that with people? So anyways, like I wrote a song about that called Poser, where I was like, I am a poser according to your rules. I don't give a shit. Why do you care so much? You know? So, that's how I feel about that anyways. Don't know how we got on that topic, but
I mean, we started with guilty pleasure songs for sure, but that was the most dynamic ending to that question I've ever got. With that being said, we've officially reached the end of it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Hell yeah. This has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Mark.
We're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap. This is not a podcast. This is a show. Keep jamming.